think it's this. Yeah, I kind of got it. So, play one more from Realign, a short one. Again, this is a copyright test stream. This is not a vanity project. I mean, it could be that too, but honestly, I'm also not entirely I'm not entirely down to play my music and listen to it. So this is, I figured let me do it here instead of the main channel. So here you go. Here's one more. Here's a short one. Yep. There's a demo of that was in the making of, which sounded a lot more like, it was like the Wall guitar, Pink Floyd The Wall, and then that effect from the pedal changed it, kind of turned it into more like a electronic dance type song. But it started as kind of a groovy piano thing. It got real weird for a while there, but yeah, again, I think it turned out pretty good. It's just like every song, I know you kind of just get to a point where you're done working on it, but I never really totally 100% feel like it's done. It's just like, yeah, we should stop now. But yeah, I'm still happy to have all this. This is good. We have 4 big albums now, and I'm pretty happy with the size of the discography. And thank you all for buying the vinyl, because they all look good. Like having the 4 like side by side is pretty cool. I really appreciate it. I said on my stream too, like I know how tough money is, and you know that's why I tend to just like say if you can download it for free and you need to, that's fine. The EP is only $1, because in order for it to I think in order for it to chart, it has to be worth something. Like you can't just have a $0 price tag on Bandcamp. It's kind of weird. But regardless, I appreciate people, getting this stuff, and I hope the vinyl was cool. I hope you enjoyed getting them. If you did, if you didn't get yours yet, just give it a little bit more time. And if you need to email Second City, I'm sure they could help you. I don't know if this EP is getting a physical edition. I don't think it will, but it could in some way. I mean, for me, I think a better idea would be to combine every B-side and put it into one like B-side album, like just a limited edition thing. But I don't even know if that's going to happen. We'll see what happens for the next album and how many B-sides there are. But I can safely say that, as I said last night, for now, this style is not what I'm working on. So what you heard from the EP, it's cool. I'm happy that we did it. But I think going forward, we're doing more kind of like a mix of the first album. But you've heard me say it on stream, probably some of you, like a little Queens of the Stone Age, maybe some 90s rock, like Television, some post-punk, just stuff like that. And we're going to see what we can do to make it our own. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have a lot of, hopefully, really good like rock drums and guitars and bass. And yeah, I just like to do different things. Like I listen to King Gizzard, and I like how they try different styles. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to stick to one thing. I get bored. Like, I don't know how fucking AC/DC does it. I love AC/DC. It's the same album every time. It's a good album, but I couldn't see myself doing that every time. I like to just have fun with it. This isn't a career. It's fun. And yeah, I mean, people are generous with their money with it, but I don't need to like put out albums to pay the bills, really. So I can just do what I want. That said, I'm going to continue to try to keep things honest, and also with the band try to work hard on making the songs good. But I just don't think I don't want to make another Light 2 just because that's the album people like the most, which I think it probably is still our best album. I'm proud of everything we put out, especially Realign, but if you like that one the best, I totally get it. I think it's still really good. And I didn't really want to make that album again. I wanted to do something different for Kerosene and Realign, and also grouping songs together. Like I write songs that, as you've heard on different streams probably, or different, like me writing stuff down. If I have a bunch of acoustic songs, I don't really want to lump them all together with electronic and rock songs. It's just going to be an album that's all over the place. Electronic album, and then stuff that sounds more like hard rock music, we save that for the hard rock album. And it kind of works better that way too, because it means that we can, like, within that we can do different things, but it also, it's fun, it's more fun, and it keeps things fun, and it's a hobby I really enjoy, but it's also something that means a lot to me. But I get to do different things and not just get bored and make the same song about big devil balls like AC/DC would. Which, again, their new song is actually pretty good. It's more AC/DC if you like big devil balls. I don't know. I'll take a couple quick questions, and then I'll play a song from an EP. Because EPs. Is it Axel yelling for 15 minutes? No, it's Brian Johnson. He's back, and he sounds like Brian Johnson. Any new pedals or guitars? Not at the moment, but I'll tell you more about that after the album next one comes out, whenever that may be. Any songs you're working on right now that you particularly like? There's a song called Middle of the Street. I'll tell you that title, that we've had for a while now, like maybe over a couple years, 2 years, that we're working on and developing, and I'm writing lyrics for it that I think you'll like. I think this is another example of, I mentioned how Settle for Less was like the whole band contributing like really good parts. I think that song is another example of that. So Was there anything before Blood Bagel? No, Blood Bagel was the beginning of the universe. That's when the Big Bang started, and that's how it got so bloody. Is it better to pick up acoustic or electric for beginners? Electric, because it's easier to play. I'll play you a second of another Realign unreleased track that I may work on one day. Okay, so hopefully, who knows what'll happen with that one. Maybe one day that'll be put in a collection or just put online as a demo. I'm not sure. Vinny, do you play fingerstyle guitar at all, or do you always use a pick? I do a little bit of that. Like, there's one I've been working on that does the. So I forgot how to play Blackbird. So Blackbird. I used to be better at this, but Blackbird I don't use a pick for. Nope. It's a weird one. Yeah, that's a couple years going back now, trying to remember how to play that. But yeah, I kind of learned the finger picking style. It's not much, but I can do it a little bit. I don't practice enough of that. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not like an amazing guitarist. I think I can do good in recordings, and I can also, if I practice a lot, I can, play my parts. But I don't consider myself like, I don't want to be Eddie Van Halen. By the way, after he passed away, I watched a lot of Van Halen stuff, and that dude looks like he's having so much fucking fun when he plays guitar. And so many other guitarists, myself included, look just absolutely miserable. And it's like, damn, that dude was having a lot of fun on stage. And I kind of, it's infectious, really. Vinny, do you plan to restock kerosene t-shirts? I am usually, like, I get a lot of questions about merch. I'm not the merch guy. I'm sorry to say that like that, but it's true. I can't focus on that stuff because it's too much for me to like do, and I don't really have any control over it. That's all at a warehouse in Chicago. Vinny, how hard is the next album? I figure it isn't like Nine Inch Nails Broken, but I'm curious. Uh, your username is information unavailable. I'm gonna say information unavailable. Some of it's gonna be pretty hard, Queens of the Stone Age style. Some of it's gonna be a little like early '90s rock. Some of it's gonna be more like television, like I said, and like more like chill. But the energy is gonna be there, I think. And even though I think we have about 10 or 11 songs that we're focusing on putting on this album, I think there's always an opportunity for more. Like if I write more, if we come up with more together in a jam situation, or if let's say one of the songs doesn't cut the mustard, then we leave that off the album. So I couldn't say for sure. It's still too early. So we aren't looking at In Utero style. A little bit, but not quite. I'm not that angry. We let the songs do the talking. Like I'm not gonna. Someone said Alice in Chains style would be neat. It would be, and I love me some Alice in Chains, and we might even get a little bit of that for sure, like some influence. But if we have a song that feels a certain way, I'm not gonna force it into a style because I think it will be best. Just let it be what it is. That's kind of like the band's motto, and try to work on it without like fitting it into a slot. Vinny, are you ever going to collab with the Beatle? There might be a Beatle somewhere in my house. If I find them, yeah, definitely. What would you do if Red Vox became very popular? Probably hide away until the day was through. I don't really. Um, I don't know. I mean, we can't do live shows anyway, so I probably wouldn't notice it too much. And I mean, I would have more money if that were the case. But then, what do I do with the money? I barely fucking like. It's nice. I like not having to worry about bills, but I don't really know what I would do. I mean, we would make more music. It would be probably the same, and I can't see a whole lot changing, truthfully. But we would make more vinyl, Polish water ice, put the money back into the band. Why do that already? How much money can you put into a band? Like, I put the money we've made into Realign, and I think if I threw more money at it, not much more would have been done. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at, as I've said before. And if there was ever a chance of a lot more, let's just say I wouldn't take a record deal, because that would be bad, as you are aware of the current industry's problems. And unless it was a very chill, like, yeah, nothing different except we support you more with merch, or we get you like locations to play, which we can't even all do because, I have a different type of life that I like, which is not traveling everywhere to tour. And again, who knows what the world's going to be like with COVID. I don't particularly never got the itch to play live. I enjoy it when I'm doing it after practicing, like after really having our shit together, but I never got that bug. It was never like, oh man, I love this. Like I want to do more of it. It's just kind of, I like recording. So it's just a tough question to answer. And someone said, don't be a sellout, but with a smiley face, which I know is like a joke, but it's true. But here's the thing, chat. You know as well as I do. Let's say the band got 10 times more popular and nothing changed about the band except that more people that knew the band. There would be people that would be upset because like, oh, they sold out, or like, I knew them when they weren't popular. That's the same for every band, for every like thing, series. It always happens, and it will continue to happen. And there's really nothing you can do about it. There's a sense of ownership that people have over a thing that they like, that was their own little thing that they found. And then if it becomes a huge thing, that could ruin that feel for them. I don't know how good that is for that person, but I am not going to try to stop people from feeling that way. But like I said, I'm happy with where we're at, and if we grow a little bit and get like some more listeners rather, that's cool. But I'd like it to happen organically, not by signing a contract. I'll take maybe one more question. This was not even really supposed to happen. I was just doing this as a test to see if people would get if this music would get claimed. Do you plan on making any more videos? We might record some of the making of this next one. That's up to Bill. And I might have some footage. As for music videos, it's kind of a hassle. And, we definitely, I appreciate what Jax did, and I like his work a lot. That's also just one dude, out of college. So, I mean, more stuff could happen, but with our current budget and with our current means, unless we did get that's where you could throw money at the thing for bigger videos, I guess. But I don't think it would get too much crazier than it has been already. It would be about the same, I think. Would you ever be up for in the studio session EP? Probably not. Maybe in the future, but I don't really know if I want to do that. We're not a tight band because we don't practice a lot. We've been every other week, or every week we've been getting together now, but Bill we haven't had in the studio for a while because of COVID, and he's got a new kid. And Mike his back is not great. And then there are days where I'm feeling kind of lazy and I only want to play for a couple hours because maybe I then want to stream for 4 hours after that. We're not we don't practice like every other day. I think if we were going to do something live or like an in the studio thing, we'd really have to put the time and work in. Also, keep in mind Joe, who plays bass and is our producer, runs a studio and has clients and has sessions like 4 days a week or 5 days a week sometimes. So, it can be tough to coordinate with him. So it's a lot of stuff. It's all kinds of factors. And yeah, Vinny, will the Another Light demos ever be released on Spotify? Probably not. And okay, so one more question, and then I will go. Any advice on getting your music out there as a new artist? I wish I knew. As you know, I had a little bit of a leg up from Vinesauce stuff, which I still did, work hard on. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that I was able to get some of you guys into my music from the stream, and I got lucky. I don't underestimate how important that was for me. There is so much music out there. I have no idea how people get noticed. I mean, we're still barely a blip on the radar, chat. Like when you think about Red Vox's like numbers alone on Spotify, it's a blip compared to some bands that are actually like. So our monthly listeners on Spotify are about 124,000, right? Let's see, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, right? Another great band, 2,800,000. By the way, UMO is not that big of a band. I think they're pretty known, they're pretty big, but they're still not like Tame Impala levels, and that's probably the band that is most known at the moment. That's rock. They have 13 million. Even so, there are still so many people who have no idea who Tame Impala is. So, we're a blip, and to get even a blip of the blip, God, I wouldn't even know. There's just so many people. There's so many people making music. There's so many people on SoundCloud. Just make it, release it, find a way to promote it. Maybe, get it in a game or get it in a short film. Just keep trying to. I still think that writing good songs is your best asset. And then shopping it around to people that might be able to use it. Not necessarily labels, but like if you write really good stuff that's undeniably good, like it has to be undeniable, meaning you have to say to yourself as a songwriter, am I releasing stuff that's not up to my best ability? Like, or am I releasing stuff that's been, that will get passed over for another song? That's the thing that's tough, is even if you do write the best shit, you still may not have an opportunity. So that's why it's better to look at it like a hobby. It's like any of the bands that made it huge or artists that made it huge were already kind of grandfathered in, or were there at a time where labels were snatching up clones of other bands, or were around at a time where there were just less, and there was a radio. People could go on radio and it would promote them. These days you have access to everyone in the world, but so too does everybody else, and people are fickle, and it can be really tough to get people's attention. So I was able to get a leg up with the Vinesauce audience, and I will always be grateful. But that's kind of who I made it for. I made it for me. I made it for the band. I made it for a couple people, really. Like I said, I'm not really making money off of this thing, and that's cool because I can pay for it. What I will say, though, is that leg up, I think, through Spotify's algorithm somehow then pushed In the Garden and Reno and a couple other songs to different people that like similar music. And this is where I do become a little bit cocky, and I do brag a little bit. And I think that if you hear In the Garden, you might like it. because I think it's a good song. I think we did a good job with it. I like the song. I still like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of it. If the song was shit and people were only listening because, oh, it's Vinny and I want to, I want Vinny not to feel bad about his music, or they're listening on Spotify and they're like, yeah, I don't know who this is. That's one thing. But when I listen to Discover Weekly, I just, whatever song I like, I add to a playlist. I don't care who they are. So you have to have the tunes. You have to bring it, and with good production too, and that can cost money. Not an easy career. I would say work on your career, work on whatever you can do. If you love music, teach music, produce music, support yourself that way, and then do a band or a solo artist project on the side and hope for the best. But do it just because you love it. And also do it because you love exploring like songwriting. Like it's a contribution. It's not a selfish thing in some ways. It shouldn't be. It should be like you're learning from all the best and you're applying your twist to it. Or in my case, I get a lot of my best songs from like dreams, which I don't even know how that fucking happens. So I can't even fully take credit for all of my shit. The best stuff usually doesn't come from me sitting, forcing myself to play guitar for 2 hours. It's if I do that, the songs are okay. But if I just kind of go on inspiration or like in a jam or through a dream, it's usually better. So, and just on a final note, I've had people ask me, Vinny, give me songwriting advice. What should I do? And it's different for everyone. I can't really offer songwriting advice because there's no rule. It's like, where do your ideas come from? I can't answer that question, really. I mean, just life experience, but also who knows? There's a little weirdness about it. It's a little spooky sometimes. And I don't really believe in that stuff. That's the weird thing. Like, I do, but I don't. And I'm very skeptical and grounded these days. Yet I still don't know where some of my best songs came from. So I'm very confused. So just, try to write based on who you are and find your method. But I would say, even so, I'm not the best songwriter. And I'm just doing my best as well and trying to have fun with it and write songs that I would find interesting to listen to. Do the same for yourself. And I guess I was going to say don't have a big ego about it, but it seems like a lot of music that's very successful right now is exactly that. So I don't have the answers. Again, I'm not the pillar of success here. The Vinesauce career is going fairly well. But in terms of music, it's going well. But it's, if you want to like make money and like live in a mansion from music, I don't have, obviously I don't fucking have those answers. But anyway, I'm done. I go now. I'm going to play you a song from another EP. And I'm going to check the VOD after this and see if it got claimed. Thank you for listening to me, chat. I really appreciate this. I wasn't even going to talk for this long, but you know me, I can't help myself, as Trent Reznor once said. I kind of like to talk. That's probably why I enjoy streaming. But you're all really kind to me and the band, and I appreciate your ears, the ability to listen to music. I appreciate that. So cheers, everybody. Thank you for the support, and have a good day. And hopefully we'll see you again in a year or so, between a year or 2 years, I'd imagine, with some new music. So signing out for quite a while. Goodbye. Oh, and once again, here's a Radiohead song, just as like a test, just to make sure everything that gets claimed is appropriately getting claimed or not. So here's a song from an EP that I really like from 1995.